Welcome to season 2 of the Airtribe podcast. And in this episode, we have one engineer from Grow, a growth stage company, and another engineer from Airtribe, which is an early stage company. Given the kind of companies which you're working in right now, what do you think? Will AI replace you? Which famous Indian product you hate the most?
Unpopular opinion.
Biggest time waster in your company or in your work?
The ad hoc tasks.
Like doing this podcast?
Doing this podcast.
Akash here is from Grow. Akash, why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, my name is Akash and I'm at Grow from last 5 years almost.
Okay.
I'm a backend engineer and I used to take care of all the payments related thing in Grow. So everything you see in the in Grow app related to payments, mandates, presentations, accounting and all those things are built by me and my team. So that's what we do at Grow. And right now I'm actually leading a team of almost 20 folks.
Okay, great. You have been there for 5 years.
Almost 5 years.
Great. Okay. Suyesh, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, so I'm Suyash Thakur. I've been working as a product engineer at Airtribe for around 2.5 years now. I joined when I was probably the sixth employee, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, now the company is still in early stage, but we have grown from that time. So most of my job entails looking towards the backend system of the product. And yeah, again, in general, anything related to software.
Okay, great. Now let's talk about the hiring process, just to give an idea to the audience that how these two companies are hiring and how their hiring process is looking like right now. Suyesh, why don't you go ahead and share what's the hiring process at Airtribe right now?
Yeah, so a hiring process, whenever some candidate apply, the first thing is we have an intro call where we try to understand their background, whatever tech stack they have worked upon. The next is an assignment round.
Okay.
So we provide them with an assignment that is somewhat on a similar tech stack they would be working on in the company.
Okay.
Once that is done and it's get reviewed, the next round is a coding round where we take assignments as a base and try to build something on top of it.
Okay.
So maybe a new feature to the assignment so that we can see how they tackle the problem.
More of a live coding.
Yeah, more of a live coding.
Okay.
Also, a bit technology specific questions. If it's for backend, then bit of SQL, bit of Node.js, and a technology specific questions.
Okay.
But yeah, after all these parts are done, then there's a culture fit round, and that's the last part. Then we onboard them to the team.
Okay. So no DSA related rounds, is it?
No DSA related rounds. Yes.
Okay. That's interesting. What about you, Akash?
So for us, we means from engineering perspective, we have different roles and SD 1, 2, 3, 4, and for all of them, there are slightly differentiating in the kind of interview we took for them. For SD ones, it generally consists of PSDS and coding.
Okay.
And after that again hiring manager round, and for SD2s it's PSDS, coding and HLD. After that hiring manager round. For SD3s again it is similar to SD2. For SD4 it will be PSDS, HLD, LLD and coding, and after that hiring manager round. After that again the hiring managers will also check for the cultural fit and all, and after that only they will get onboarded.
Okay. So the PSDS round is DSA,
Yes,
right?
DSA.
Okay. Any particular reason for you guys having DSA round?
Yep. So what we feel and our whole engineering team feels like, problem solving is a skill which we need right now, because the scale we are at right now, we have the luxury to train the folks in the tech stack which we are working right now.
Okay.
But it will be very, required skill set, I believe, for our use cases, that he should have a very good problem solving skills. So with PSDS means problem solving and data structures round, we usually verify whether the candidate is good in problem solving or not. And our
Okay.
again the PSDS is not like the peculiar or
Lead code.
typical lead code questions. Is more around the logic of the logical questions, how logical the candidate is and whether he is able to solve that problem with logic or not.
Understood. Okay, got it. Because what Suyesh mentioned is their interview process is dependent on a framework or a language in our company. But how is the scene at Grow?
So we actually don't care for what programming language he has worked before,
Mm-hmm.
because what we believe, learning a programming language will be a month of task.
Okay.
And we already have a, so we generally work on Java and Spring Boot, so most of our services are on Java and Spring Boot, and most of the things we have already created. So
Okay.
if anyone is coming in, it will be very easy for them to go into, look into lot of things, a lot of code, and learn from there. So
Okay.
we generally look for, folks who are able to write code for a problem to solve them,
Understood.
right? So it's actually neutral of programming languages and frameworks.
Got it. Okay. Thanks for sharing that. Now let's talk about product managers.
Okay.
I'm sure Grow has grown a lot, and there are roughly what 1,200 odd employees right now.
Yeah.
Um, and there will be PMs in the team, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they add any value in the company?
Hmm. So actually it depends where the company right now stands, or at which position the company is right now.
Mm-hmm.
What I believe, so when I have joined, it is around 120 folks were there, only 30 folks were there in engineering, and we didn't have any PMs at that time because
Okay.
we knew what we want to build for the base product, right? So when you know what you want to build for the base of your product, I guess at that point of time you don't need any PMs because you want to move fast, right?
Hmm.
And
So you're saying that PMs will slow down?
slow down from that perspective because they have to go through a lot of user research, right? And so once a product is built, you have to, improve the product, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to improve the product, you have to analyze what user wants. It's not like what you want to add to the product, right?
Okay.
So to do that analysis and what user wants, what will be the market fit of the new feature, to do that they do a lot of analysis and write all the use cases for us. So it slows down the process, but actually it helps the product to be a better user centric product.
Okay. Got it. And Airtribe doesn't have any PMs, obviously. Do you think we need one?
Um, Not really, actually. If I'm being honest, what I feel like is uh, engineer should be closer to, or whoever is creating a product should be closer to the users.
Mm-hmm.
So in an ideal scenario, engineer should be talking to their users, should be getting the whatever the pain points they are facing, whatever the features they want to build, and gather all that data, and then decide on their own, rather than have an abstraction layer between the developers and users, and then someone is taking user interview and kind of communicating it to the engineers, and that might introduce a personal bias to as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better if we remove the we bring the developers more closer to the user rather than have layers between them.
Okay. Did you just reduce product managers to an abstraction layer?
I mean, if you look at it in a way, it is kind of.
Okay. Moving on. There's this hot topic in the industry around AI. And everybody is talking about that, hey, will AI replace this or will AI replace that? Or will AI replace engineers and all those things? I want to know from both of you, given the kind of companies which you're working in right now, what do you think? Will AI replace you?
At this point of time, the kind of work I am doing, AI will not be able to replace me because I do take decisions for the future, for the betterment of the product, right? What the kind of problem solving skills I have, the type of situation I am in right now, and what kind of decisions have to make. I have to make on the decision of, and I have to make the decision based on the events which are happening around me. So again, though all those things AI will not be able to track, at live point of time, right? So that's
Correct.
a kind of a human tendency. There are emotions coming in, so you have to take care of all those things. So from that perspective, I don't feel like AI will be able to replace me.
Okay. So you're saying that there is obviously one important part is decision making, and there is a lot of context required for every single decision you are taking. It can be anything around tech or product or team management or anything else as well, right? And you're saying that because that context is not there, those kind of tasks AI won't be able to do right now.
Yeah.
What do you think, Suyash? Will AI replace you in a tribe
I don't think so. Not
anytime soon?
anytime soon. At least it's not happening. It might change the way I develop stuff. It might change the coding pattern. But even let's say the whole coding part was automated by AI, but still you need an input, right? You need instructions. And what we say today, a coding is what I write in an ID is also an instruction. So as an engineer, I'm already skilled in providing instruction. Be it today as a today I'm providing it in an ID. I might provide it to an AI agent.
Okay.
But the core skill set of having a right context and providing the right instruction would always be there with me. It's just that the development process might change. There might be an AI layer between actual code. The coding itself becomes human language, but still you'll need a person to provide right instructions and with all the context.
That's an interesting perspective. Now, I want you guys to answer this question carefully. Uh, and Suyash, you can start. What are the pros and cons of working in your company?
Okay. The pro is, although me being a product developer or a software engineer, I get to work on skills that are nowhere related to software. Be it, I get to at least learn from the marketing team because I work very closely with them. They are right across me. So, I kind of give my input sometimes there. Same with, design team, branding team, even video team. So a lot of learning happens that are outside of software.
Okay.
So that is probably the best part. It as a person, it helps me to grow a lot in multi-dimension way. Uh, the con would be so as an engineer, you kind of want to work at a depth of a problem. So if company is not at a scale, the problems don't have much depth to it. So for example, let's say we are building a payment system. So early stage startup building a payment system would be just integrating it with a Stripe or something. You don't kind of care about a lot of edge cases or uptime or if it will be able to handle millions of transactions at a second or something. But if let's say I was working at a company like Swiggy or something, so then I would be working on if I would be working on transactions, then these problems that arise only at the scale would be something I would have learned. But kind of you lash on to a company early and you hope it reaches to a scale where you kind of see the whole journey right from start to the end. So yeah.
Okay. So I think not getting a chance to work on very deep technical problems, specifically when you are working in an early stage company, that might be a con, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Akash? I'm sure the scale problem is not there at Grow right now.
So from pros wise, you will have a lot of responsibility, ownership. You will be having a lot of scale to work on the things, right? And obviously you will be able to interact with business and learn from, or get the understanding of the whole journey of a payment, right? Starting from source to destination, how everything is working, and all the nitty gritties of payments, right? Cons will be, as we are a fintech company, we are regulated by NPCI, we are regulated by SEBI, and all those things comes very abruptly. And whenever it comes up, you have to be on your toes and get to all the audit things done. That can be a little bit of hectic and cumbersome at times. So yeah, folks who don't like that kind of a pressure, it will be little bit tough for them, but we enjoy that work. So yeah.
That is interesting because the RBI mandates and things, I think compliance part and all that's not really like, sometimes it might be a technical problem statement, but
Yeah,
a
most
lot
of
of
the time it's a
times,
business problem.
yeah, and like probably not so exciting
Yeah,
work
but it's
there.
just like things I have to do and I need to do for the product, right? To get the business running as usual, so that the user doesn't face any issues that our product is getting banned for some time. Just like
Okay, which is
Paytm
what we are
happens.
being paid
Yep.
for
Yep.
anyway.
Yeah, that's a part of work.
Yes. Now we'll move on to our rapid fire round. In this round, I'm going to ask them a question and they'll either answer in a one word, or if explanation is required, they'll give one liner explanation, but no time to think about it. Okay. Cool. Let's start. Maybe like, for the first question, you will answer first. And so for all even questions, you will answer first. For all odd questions, you will answer first. Okay. Cool. If you could delete one programming language from existence, which would it be and why?
C sharp, because we already have Java.
Maybe JavaScript, because it's totally very ambiguous for me, and it is very loosely coupled, and that doesn't make sense for me. So yeah.
Okay. Most overrated thing in tech. It can be anything, a framework, language, pattern, anything. What?
Okay. I guess it will be microservices, because people get into that doesn't knowing about it, ki whether they need it or not. So maybe a trap to get into the microservice architecture very quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Suyash?
I mean, I would say Next.js. Everyone getting into web dev without even giving a second thought starts with React Next.js project, because again, a full stack. When you talk about full stack project, I think every beginner thinks of a Next.js project. So Next.js.
Okay. Biggest time waster in your company or in your work?
I mean, the ad hoc tasks that you get, that is apart from tech or apart from product.
Like doing this podcast?
Doing this podcast or reviewing something, some content. So yeah, I think that would be it.
Okay. Fair enough. Akash?
For my case, mostly the useless meetings I go into with and doesn't have anything to share. They're just be there just to be a listener there. So yeah.
Okay. Most expensive tech gadget you own other than your phone and laptop?
So I have bought a robot which actually cleans my house. So yeah, that will be the one.
Okay. That's an interesting one. Suyash?
Okay, my keyboard is really absurd, and compared to other keyboard, it's expensive too. So I have a 60% Ducky keyboard.
What is 60% keyboard?
So it doesn't have numpad, doesn't have arrow key. It just have letters and a number bar.
Okay. And why would you use that and not use a longer keyboard?
It looked cool. Then I bought it, and after a day, I realized I need number, at least arrow keys.
Uh-huh.
So I mapped the already existing keys. Let's say Control, Shift, and Alt into arrow keys. So once
So they are not in this line also, right?
no, I mean you get used to it with time is what I would say. But
There's
yeah,
no other option.
yeah, it's absurd, but yeah, the keyboard still I like that keyboard.
And you have paid for it, so you better like it
Yeah.
now. What are you doing when you're not coding?
Most probably watching some random documentary on Netflix.
Okay, Akash?
For me, it's outdoor games and playing Counter Strike. Yeah.
Okay, you still play games, is it?
Yeah.
Nice. Which famous Indian product you hate the most?
Unpopular opinion, Cred.
That's pretty popular opinion, I guess. Suyash?
So I think I don't like Ola.
Okay.
When if I'm trying to book a cab, I don't need to order from ONDC. I don't need to buy a scooter. Just book my cab, please. And it doesn't even does that in Bangalore specifically. So yeah, Ola.
Now the latest thing has been Krutrim also, right?
Yeah, I mean, I get that you're trying to build a lot of products, but please don't try to sell it when I'm trying to book my cab.
If you could swap a role with other team member, who would that be?
I want to be a PM. So just to see, why they take so much time to write the PRDs. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I mean, I would probably swap my role with founders themselves.
Okay.
I mean,
I need to be careful now.
I feel like that's what's next for me.
Good one. Okay. Okay, that's about it on this podcast. Thanks a lot, Akash and Suyash, for joining us. And with that, we come to the end of this Airtribe podcast. We'll see you in the next one.